Up. Yeah, man, the renegade up, man. Wagwan, man. Renegade when afraid. Man in the wilderness. Keep it real and honest, you know, tabloid. Wagwan. Yeah. All right, so people, let us put up some picture. This is more than embarrassment. And, boy, I don't know. So, Holness, for the first time, I mean, you just get up. You have a disastrous by-election. Just can disastrous. Somebody just text me and tell me, say, oh, somebody tell them, say, them are put John Kotakit. When I get enough vote, you should have no land by it. In the finance ministry. That will be detrimental. But you know, say nobody no ratings, not enough commercial something. In the people shit water for drink. That all this on a straw, don't it? But how you mean what beat it till I'm a bed? Let me just pick up first, you know, before we start the show. So when it's gone down there, so I'm gonna go plant, make man. Let me tell you this, me will never do that, you know. The first time you leave out and go down there, so I know you're going down there, for you do it with Israel and we're not see the benefit. The man are waste people taxpayers money. You go down there, plant tree, I make them put up video with you, plant. The man couldn't plant him tree himself. You think me could I leave my place and go down there so and in that pier and look for me for planting tree and water it and take picture around it and look yard boy, you turn yard boy. You think that look good? Yeah? And I like to go down there before and then the man a plant tree and you help him. Yeah. You understand? Yeah, you understand? Yeah. See, this bad. See, this bad. Eh? So you go put a stone it in people. And then you remember know. You go about review. I make big mama them talk about breaking news. It now do nothing people. I just waste time. We him now want people talk about where I talk about waste time, about review, and about company when just farm. I can't man go court. Remember film company, you know? Film company, that makes sense? About review and about this and about that. And them talk break what kind of news. That can't break nothing at all. Let me start this. I'm not going to show you something and I could have burn him out because it's a goddamn disgrace to Jamaica. In the world. The first thing you do when you go in there and plant people tree, turn yard boy. Eh? And I water people tree. The man, look what him have. The man have people. He have around 1.4 billion people down there with himself. He could have planted one tree. Eh? And water him one tree. You leave from where you leave, go to a yard boy and put water in one tree. And then you can't come tell me about oh me plant a tree. Then for plant them one tree. Eh? That's a call house come around, you know? Yes. Let me start.
We in lump sum, we a beat it till they are my bane. We now make them get in a them and again. None of them boy, we none of them. We alone some rise up the bomber day.
Not a Judas, them a backstabber. I'm my wife and this straight beauty and glamour. No guy can walk to name me with no dagger. Make the heart of Mandela, but the mind of a Zama in the mold like a bullman. We send us the jammer. Lyrically inclined, be a metaphor, so no listen to lyrics line for line. Become a lyrical filter. Put up in everything, they load some boy all in a head.
Up, man, up. Yeah, man, when you get there, man, when I say, man, keep it real around them. I mean, just pick up my family, them now in your son, my family. Find my girl too, you're there first. Shane, Dorothy. Them beat to this one today in the evening of Dorothy, because me always say Dorothy first, you know. Pancita, see you too, you know. Danette, Sonia, yeah, man. Veral, wow. I want to line up, that's a man. Paulette, see you too, man. Juliet, yeah, man, yes, man. All right. Me just see Sonia, there's a two. Iris, Dwight, see you in Beverly up. Legris, Tony, you know, I say glamour setter boutique, you know, my just call up a name, eh? Where I say my artist, where I say do I up, dear man, you're up, where I say, dear man, pretty. Kingston Story, what fam, you're good, we ain't great. We have one, what sister, Una, where I say sister, you're good. Jaffex, what little sister, what para, little sister, you're good. Yeah, man, I like to go and yesterday, Mary, see you in a deal. You're up, Righteous Records. Salute. Yeah, man, where I go on, man. Yeah, man. Fancila, see you too, you know. Yeah, man, maybe just one tune, you know. Ivan, see you, you know. What? Yeah, Makala. Turtle boy. Atu Makala, me see you too, you know. Yeah. Yeah, man. Because una already, you know. Because una already, you know. Petal. Yeah, man. I run through the thing, but you see what me have to do a knock back on who me call, you know. Your brains have to quick them way there. Juliet Campbell. See you too, you know. Mr. J. Wagwan. Andre. See you too, man. See? Yeah, man. But just scan too fast, you know. Because I done the place, I beat it till I'm a Ben. Creative minds. You can't pass me. Leprechaun. Me see you too, man. Yeah? Fantasia, love. Bless. June. Bless. Yeah, man. You see? Me a scan, you know. Unique rare. Nobody think me a pass, you know. Me see it too, man. Scan, you know. Lynette. Yeah, man. Lucky B. See it too, man. Annette Black. See it too. Yeah, man. Yeah, say, man. So me a scan the thing, though. Ghost Gun. And I change the name to Ghost Weapon, you know. Me nah, yes. I know nothing. Patrick, well, sister, you good? Yeah, man, you good, you great? Joe Blocks. Oh, you mean? Up. Yeah, man, what my name shake? Uber Brown. You good? Yes, man. Maxine. Yeah, soon, you know. I mean, I could deal with a prime minister. I know real prime minister, you know. Sing a tea. Where going from? You good? Yeah, man. Holness and a real prime minister around here. We don't know that. We don't know that, right? Yeah. The man, any man will say come in and I tell about 1 room, 2 room, and I put emphasis on all this kind of thing. See them, see you. Yeah? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Marjorie, me see it too. Yes. See? But I put emphasis, but them turn around and reach overnight. Don't queen, you good? No make them trick you. Them can't trick we. So we're still looking at the things same way, you know. We're looking at the things same way. But look how honest, take up taxpayers' money down around here. Some taxpayers' money, you know. I pay for Kenny Benjamin because I know him not pay himself. Time to official visit, that means it cost with millions should have visit there, you know. Millions, you know. Figure do what? Look how him take millions and the people. Look here. You believe this? Look here. This makes sense to you? No, tell me if this makes sense to you. Eh? This can't make sense to you. Let me just mama push it up even more. Yes. This makes sense to anyone now, no? When you can't read it, they say no Jamaica PM and your own is plant. So, but anything my name, you have to move the M now. Champa, you say chopper. So that's why I move the M. So in my plant, I think name, you know, them just put an M there for you know, say my plant chopper, you know, champa. Yeah? Champa sapling. Him don't even know where him go plant, but him go there. And when you look, him go plant. See the dirt dig up there and the water turn water, boy. Eh? So you could have take millions of dollars. The man couldn't do this himself. A chopper tree, you know, yes, Kingston story, a chopper tree. Can look at the chopper, you know, but then just put an end for damp it. Eh? He go plant over the chopper tree. So if you only keep money and go over the tree, you know. Eh? Yeah, man. Yes, man. See, look here. Can you imagine you know what when the Prime Minister turn water boy? Turn gardener. Eh? And I boast about this. Eh? He go plant chopper tree. Then just put in a eminite feet not look bad, you know. He could have a tree with a different name, but I mean, you get up, you're in the pan pulpit, most of Friday. And then when him reach near India, him send out thing by X. Farmer the Twitter. I say man route to India. Him not talk to nobody. Yeah? Him send carry a delegation, but the delegation there. A Chris. A chopper tree, man. Yeah. Take out them out of it. Cheryl. Look here. Eh? You know, could I be a prime minister? Remember, that's a mistake, sir, because we can't deal with this. You are never come, you never see the man yet, you never go to a meeting yet. And the first time you go, they go turn him yard boy and I'm garden a plant tree and a water it. And take picture, send it back. In your suit too, you know. Where am I? Hey, you ever your Michael? Oh, stop. But Michael Jackson tune, you might look on it. Hold on there. Look at the Michael Jackson tune and tell me if it's fit the prime minister. Look here. Let me look on it. More answer a picture with it. Well on there. Now write that thing. Well on there. Never write this. I was still look through. I finished look through the thing them right now. You know. What are tune on here? You know that tune here? With Michael Jackson. Where a beer suit and dress up in a tie. You eat by our. You know that tune here? Eh? Eh? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You know that tune down. They visit other people a garbage. I waste a million. Him just waste over 30 million our money. Then him have next 69.5 million with them waste. Me don't know where the money they come from. If a FSL give them money for run or who give them the money for run. But me know say them waste like $100 million panda flap thing that with them just keep. With Dranko jacket, a Tompa jacket, you know, Tompa, you know, like you have Tompa, little bit, Tompa jacket, right? Yeah, that's a Tompa Dranko, you know, Tompa jacket. So, yes, see, them just keep that when a pan down and go like them I eat that, and them don't want to talk about it, them want to keep it out of things, so everyone go yes. The first time you leave and go around this so, in our country, look what them give, look there. You eat by a smooth criminal. Eh? Michael Jackson told me at about, look here. And look on the dressing now. What that I'm not saying to put up the tune name, man. Look here. I always a rough one. A water boy. So hold on. So like they're going to turn water boy. Indefinitely you talk about the water boy. And you really make your prime minister not keep the country smarts on them big so. The man have one point about, hey, let me show enough people in India. Because India population gone up. And a 1.2 billion again. But look at India population. Look at. Look at. I'm going to ask you something, Holness. Let me ask him something. Let me ask him something. I like to talk and ask you. Before I start play that, look at India population, people. Population 1.4. See that? 2022. You never know it's gone up so much, don't? I like to start more and show you. 1.4 1.7 billion. This is India population right now. Wanna see it? Me like show now. So out of the population, we just have 3 million people, 2.8 million people. You know, you leave and go India, go plant tree and a water tree for people. Eh? The man of all kind of people can plant in tree. And you gonna take water boy and gardener work. So go do what? Eh? You tell the man, say, look how much people have, make them do it, or you do it yourself. Me not there for this. And him a laugh. Him laughing. Him a laugh. Eh? So in the after this a waste man. You can go to some make a man and give you this. And then you skin tea go do it. I tell him, say, brother, me come if you come talk to you upon something and my people them watch me already about me out. Me nah do this. You go water your tree yourself. That are more it's a lasting effect that for me. If you come water your tree, that mean you not rate me. You not rate me, brother. Me I go on my yard same time. Ever me go on my yard. Come here say no man, this me. Or you look on a tree. Me cut 2 ribbon with you. You have to cut the ribbon. Because them are born me to me a cut ribbon. But me cut a ribbon with something now. Oh you go see the dirt there, you know. Look how the dirt Indian dirt, look how the dirt is tough. Look how it dry. See there? Eh? This is what the man do. Eh? Yes. These are the weights. The Prime Minister just to look notice and try to flick. But we're going to deal with them case right now too. Because we're finished with them started to have a declaration. We're going to finish with it. You know what? Smoke without fire. No. Eh? Yeah. All right. Remember them I walk on freely. Me tell you to them swap them out. And this is a part of Kenny Benjamin. Listen, you can't make a Prime Minister of Jamaica. Friendly with so much business people that him and them can just get up and fly up on a plane and then you see them. This is not the first time. When them there Egypt, that no matter in nothing, you know. When them go to Egypt, when them go Israel. Then I want to say more I'm going to see Egypt and other place. That's the one leeching. We know you're not in back off. And then we see money around to leeching bank with him, Arcana style. He might get bank account free without opening it with 1 cent. NCB. What the chairman leeching? Break rules. Them break rules. So I come up on the next picture and say delegation. People, where's that delegation? Where you do? Just you and Chameleon at the delegation and they carry 2 or 3 other people, 2 people with you. Eh? That's the delegation. Me could look at the delegation. Yeah? Because it's a yard boy thing. Yeah, Holness. Let me just tell the fam now. Me could look at the delegation, me go. Because if I me like Juliet, if even I'm a cousin, I talk to him, I say, listen me, you can't make him tell about delegation, you know. Don't make him, yeah, you have to tell him something, man. So this time delegation people. I notice where she always there for the man, you know. You know, like how your wife depend your hand at all times. Look. You see it? Look for an Indian man here. Asking him teeth. Kenny Benjamin. Eh? And then when Chris Kiel got there so far. What him not needed there, so, you know. Chris Kiel made the man take a puppy show better. What you need to go here so far? Eh? What you need to go here so skinny, you know, see what going on in Jamaica. All them people them not ashamed to, you know. The man had done your money, this a joke. Eh? You understand? This a joke. This man have nothing about him. You understand? Yeah, man, look on this now. You know what? She depend on the Holness. Oh, she depend on him right hand. You know, you have your wife on your right hand, don't it? Yeah? All right. So she depend on Holness right hand. So when the delegation, the people, I could scale this. He now have a minister delegation of people work with him, you know. Yeah? He now have no Guardsman this, and the next one, this is where name Overton, and I want to name Overton in a guardsman. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah, man. So tell me something now. So in Paris, I wonder if it's a honeymoon this hour. Let me just ask some question, Holness. Because some people afraid to ask. Me the renegade when afraid to ask. But me don't know, is that one of the because it's not official, nothing, you know. No. If government do some official, all right, let me show you something, people. Let me tell you something, can't treat nobody. You go on an official for the first time, you have to travel halfway around the world. You have to travel how much mile around the world? Thousands of miles. Yeah. If you charter a plane, that make it even worse. Enough taxpayers money this. Right? You have to travel halfway around the mile. You have to travel way out around the mile. Round the world. Miles around the world. You have to carry different ministry. If you have to talk with the government, that you can meet them counterparts. You know that carry a foreign minister. That don't make no sense. Nobody with her from the ministry. What's that don't make no sense? What's that don't make no sense? If you're there in New York, she right under your arm. If you go to London or anyway, she there under your arm. This don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. If it's a delegation, it's supposed to be a government delegation, not Chris Gill. He's not part of government. Not Overton or one name and Kenny and Benjamin. Kenny Benjamin. Them they are private people now around for them thing. This is not a delegation. This ain't. The master well, you have a 3-man delegation, a 4-man delegation. This is a government that carry a delegation. Yeah. Where you say Kingston story? Where only the if you ask me, Kanji not say if me don't know it's a Kanji not with Bigfoot. Well, you know, but you know, I mean you're married and in the public eye. She kiss you, man. I do your wife it off, she kiss you. You can't deny that if you know with somebody then divorce. But you can't marry and them thing you live. Remember you have to set standard, you know. You have to. You have to respect yourself too, you know. Set some standard, man. Same? Set some standard. Yeah? Yes. Oh, sister married for you know easy, you know. You know easy. But what me ask you now? What the government delegation when carry? So for instance, you have to talk to a minister about something and what go on, so when them could share, you know, views or something, or India can do something for them or something. Where the minister of education there, where the minister of health or somebody from there, where the minister of, you understand me, a delegation. But when you look, it look like you're going on a vacation. A 2 people vacation. And then you carry some of that toners with you if you don't look back. So you carry a toner screw out of the toner screw, one, no tone. So when you know the prime minister, you feel, you know, your little element around this now. I will come to the room and sit down and talk to you. Them man, all of them man for the one night. So Juliet, you ask, so where your room there? My first time you. Remember see. So what you do now? She are there, the man, what you do? So in a room, we don't so. And then the man them up here to play that, you know. What think so? One thing, sir. People may say nothing else, and me just ask a question, don't it? One thing, sir. One is them move me and G. Eh? Yeah. Them move me and G down. Them two be a faith me and G, don't it? Eh? So when you just sit down by yourself, so you're the only female one travel upon them. Travel with your husband. You could have traveled all over the world and not travel with this man, Prime Minister, him say delegation. This can't be a delegation. Yeah? And then, oh, I'm a foreign minister. The foreign minister really have a ministry there, but it not really run. Because when you go on delegation, you go to the next country, you carry some people, where it's beneficial to them. Not to the foreign ministry. Them they go deal with, you that foreign and something caught up and them have to go deal with foreign ministry. No, what the ministry do. That means him not going to have to pay nothing. If you carry those share run from foreign ministry, you not going to have to pay nothing. You have to have minister of education. That means you have to have the health minister that you can beg even to all ambulance and some medication or something. But the foreign ministry, I don't know how your ministry are run. That makes sense. Eh? But the purpose of the foreign ministry. So we know the purpose, really. Yeah? But we have ministry of education, they have the health, you have this, you have security, you have something. We understand. Yeah. Well said. So yeah, tell me now, Kenny, can me answer me same thing, Kenny, me same thing, I'm gonna answer you fast. Cause I'm move fast. So you say now, when the PM control our ministry, so you don't need them. So why need a sharp little browning where yes. We never carry Babsy. We never carry Cougar. We always walk with she. Because I don't need them, because I'm in every ministry. So that means I don't need all them. Where you say to that? Eh? Eh? Where you tell him I need salt? Eh? The ambassador, that is it. So you don't carry all the ambassador and all these kind of people. He's not bother with that. Then him go somewhere and just fly with him foreign minister. Anyway, from South America, this so. And him take all 4 days to, 4 days. 4 days away. Yes. 4 days. First, meet her husband and think 4 days. Miss her husband 4 days. And then my just sit down in a few moments, I will wake up, you wake up 12 o'clock, we're going to wake, and you're going to call out for me, and yes, we're going to talk now. Yes. Eh? Yeah, me not understand this. Eh? We don't understand this at all. Eh? So I'm at fact, let me go to the next. Let me go to the next one, and then we're going on, but I could go listen about him thing now. Only it's a waste of money. That me just tell you up front here. This a total waste of money here. So let me just tell you if I'm now that a arms house. That's a waste of money. Yeah? And for you over there a plant up the so one more picture here. What you say about that one now? So yeah, what you say about that one here? Eh? Yes. Eh? I wanna look. Yes. But for serious note, him a waste of money, yeah? That trip here, what I try to do is try brainwash you from the truth. Yeah? Winston Grace, Winston, where's that? I'm work wife. No man I go pan trip. Then wife with them or something then. Can you go pan some trip, don't it? Eh? But when you see him down there, so him and a one year. In no other ministry, He no walk with them. He never go meet them somewhere. He gone way up there, so him and a one year. He gone in a bush. In Amazon bush. In a bush. Him and a one year. Him gone in a Asia. Him and a one year. Everything him and a one year going. Now the ministry, him and a one year. Might take 4 days off and talk about official visit. When you go on an official visit, you come and you talk to the public. And make the public know you're going on an official visit and think the guy and have the manners. When Portia doesn't go on an official visit, this guy same one burn it out. You cannot use data, you can't use that and taxpayers' money. This guy just take up and spend more money as him like. And not talk to nobody. You understand? Yeah. You see me I say? Yeah. No man. So hear this. Imagine that. When you have travel, hey, me not like travel going away now. Me like travel and travel with my wife, you know. So me there you up and them place. Me like travel with my wife, man. Me travel with me youth. Me not know why. Me not just. So for a long time now, long decades. Me just travel with my wife. Me more, you know. Instead of boom bam bam. If I go a short thing then it's a quick show or something, you just go and come back. But if I get someone near them and I find after something, me know. Yes. You see me after? Yeah. It far away. Okay. Size 13, I say. Yeah. Oh, me see one answer. So me could dive down because only snow make big mama them run out with garbage again. I talk about him, I look, judicial review. And I call people, now gonna away now. He might buy time, but the longer I buy time, I dissect him and hold him, can't get you from this. You can't make the man get with SSL and come back with this and have all kind of thing. When him not support the whole of them thing, number one, if he was a businessman, he's supposed to put them in a blind trust. Yeah. All right. Wait. Okay, right away. Yes. All right. Right away, ma'am, right away. Make a open meeting. Wait, I never see anything positive over here, so. Okay. So that's why no you forget out, man. You're a piece of shit. Yes, man. You forgot, man. One flush. Him gone, man. Yeah, man. That gone, man. Piece of shit. Move, man. Get her, man. Yes, man. Go away, man. Leave, man. Yes. Yeah. All right. Yeah, not say nothing, man. I see the through the gate, man. Make a watch
much for
this,
being
man.
here. We're continuing to look at the Integrity Commission report in respect of Prime Minister Andrew Holness' statutory declaration.
At least in that try get her from. I can't make him get her from this. Him to one fear. Yeah, with some money laundering, say all kind of things and never try to treat the people. Can't treat me again. Him no good. Him can't treat nobody warrior. Nobody. Or waste the taxpayers' money too. Them just weigh 100 million them waste take away. Yesterday. Just one in the month, him just get up and waste money. Then spend nearly 70 mil, 69.5 plus the 30 million of taxpayers' money. But them get the 69.5 too. Yeah? Continue.
The report if you want to follow along there for yourself. So this was the point at which Mr. Holness had been asked about source of funds for the Imperium account which was held at Burrito. So the director said, having reviewed Mr. Holness's explanation, he deemed it necessary to look at the statement that had been provided by the officer at Burrito in relation to shares held in Imperium's name. So the statement said that Mr. Holness acquired about 50,000 BIL shares on December 21, 2020, and then on March 16, 2021, the statement.
So people, look what I'm talking about review. I talk about hey, people at Jamaica for running away, you know. People listen. I want the people, no mother, I want a grandfather, I want a grandmother, I want a mother, I want a father dead because the man keep election, open up the place. But yet still in a December. Remember, September and keep the election. December the thing well bad. He now have not set an America, but the man open it up and him have companies. The same company where himself file review. I'm self a file review now. Because I mean, all the judges look at that and show it out. Because I say the company, so who are the company? You meet, so you have file review. So you have file review for yourself around 4 different times. The whole 3 company plus yourself plus other thing. That makes sense? Just run him away. And then now going away that guy now do not mean, you know. Much I style thing. We have to run him away. Him not easy. But them time now, your mother, my mother died in 2021. Look who got the funeral. It hurt a lot of people. Yeah. It hurt a lot of people. Up to today, and like you could say goodbye. Communion, father dead and him dead at the funeral. Oh. Our father dead. Remember him dead at the funeral? In the dead. And when them tell you that funeral, him say, oh, the body never in there. So it was not funeral. The body. That one is too. Yeah? Can't be trusted, can't deal with that, not all in dangerous. See? Meanwhile, him move up so much money and buy things when you can't buy food. When you move, you get 200,000 for mass. Oh, you can make somebody run a country like that. This guy, you're not supposed to not listen to him. I can tell them and somebody to listen to. Them are listen to me, man. They may just some pirate. Them are some pirate. Yeah. Him can't sue IC. No, him can't sue IC, brother. Him can't sue IC. No, him can't sue it, you know. Him say judicial review. Judicial review. So them for review and say, hey, no, them can't do that neither. Them know better. I see more pantan that I see. But I see not judge, you know. I see more pantan that, you know. Look now, I pay a top liar and thing on this, you know. Remember my top liar too, you know. Yes. All right. Continue.
From Burrito showed that Mr. Holness sold 192,000 BIL shares. Now, because of this discrepancy, the director said he asked for an explanation from Burrito. Burrito told him that the allotment of over 140,000 units of shares to the client fell within the purview of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, given that the security was acquired via a public offer. Those shares were then placed directly on the client's Jamaica Central Securities Depository as required in the APO process, therefore did not go through a brokerage order, and the allotted amount is communicated to BIL for the units to be reflected on the client's equity account at Burrito. And he said basically the significance of that explanation was that Burrito did not have the information on the unit price of the shares or the source of funding for the shares that had been bought in this way. He said that a statement from the Jamaica Stock Exchange confirmed that an allotment of over 141,000 Burrito shares had been issued on September 25, 2020 to Mr. Holness. The unit price or total value was not stated because the Jamaica Central Securities Depository only records the number of shares allotted. And the director said because of information gaps, he went back to Burrito for more information, which was provided, and that showed that Mr. Holness had applied to purchase a total of 192,300 shares at an offer price of $52 per share, and that he received over 141,000 shares on September 25, 2020, and the other remaining approximately 50,000 shares on December 21, 2020, with a monetary value of $9.9 million. The purchase of the shares was funded by transfers from BNS and JN Bank. And
Yeah, who purchase where the money come from? I just pay money the man and move on. Him not have no work. Andrew not have no workforce for him to pay, you know. We know you know pay stub, you know. Andrew not have no workforce, you know, people around the millions of you know. Like him want to take Jamaican fee. Uno no work. Uno no know this thing go. Yeah? Him not easy.
checks showed that transfers were in fact made from accounts held by Mr. Holness at BNS and
What happened, sister? You good? There, man, I blaze too fire.
JN Bank. Now, the director said he found it necessary to highlight the finding from looking at Mr. Holness's JN Bank account. The transaction history shows that between May and July 2020, 20 deposits classified as cardless cash deposits totaling $4.5 million were made to this account.
20 deposits. Hey, them man are different, you know. Money I run from all about, you know. Hear this? And I talk about review. Eh? Him shouldn't be the Prime Minister. Yeah.
On September 16, 2020, a withdrawal, an RTGS withdrawal of over $6 million was made from the account. Now, RTGS means real-time gross settlement. It's an acronym used in the banking system. It's a mechanism for transferring funds from one bank to another on a real time and on what is called a gross basis.
They move from one bank to another. You see what one is do? No, Jamaican people no can't stand this. You can't tell me, say, you are dealing with corruption and you are telling me about youth and about criminality. I follow them and arrest the criminal among us. And you know, call that paid, that paid. Him can't be a prime minister. Not tenable. Can't be a prime minister. That can't be a prime minister. And who run him and back him, them are the same thing. Them have to go. Them are the same thing, man. Yeah, man.
The director says the report is in possession of further evidence from the duty authorized officer at JN Bank, which explains that cardless cash deposits are deposits made through automated teller machines by members and their agents. The evidence further shows that if the deposits are made by an agent of the member, meaning the person who owns a bank account, the depositor's identity is unknown, as was the case with the deposits made to Mr. Holness's accounts. On February 28, 2024, the director put certain questions to Mr. Holness concerning these deposits, and Mr. Holness explained in his response that the deposits were made by bearers. Now, the question was what was the source of funds classified as cardless cash deposits. The answer was that it was a reimbursement from Norman Brown, a shareholder of Estate Bridge, in relation to preparatory expenditure undertaken on the Waycliffe development. 2. Source of funds, answer, income from rental of property at Mona. Question 3.
So you could have rent property. But rental from property at Mona and it give you how much million top a million. Right at Mona yourself. And when they acquire that property. I'll be a shit him talking. And then be big nasty thinking mama. Big dirty thinking mama up there. To put about him at them to court. Listen. I'm talk about with that thing out that now gonna wait that a shit. A time I look for buy, but the more me no mind when him buy time because we can there now and die finish dissect him and it a draw down the whole of them one time. Me no mind. So the longer I'm stay to eating them up more. You see what Dranko jacket get? Eh? Hey Marlon, you see what Dranko jacket get? Eh? See? Yesterday? Continue.
What was the purpose of the deposits listed above classified as cardless cash deposits? Answer: 1. Rental of property at Mona. 2. Pursuant to a land development agreement which stated that the developer, which is Estate Bridge Holdings, had agreed to pay to the owner, that's ADMAT, the sum of $6 million upon signing, to be apportioned as follows: $4 million compensation for expenses undertaken by the owner to prepare preliminary drawings, subdivide the land, preparing design of sewage.
Hold on, subdivide. So when it's get this alana, say admit when them get this land about subdivide then and switch. And them are pay them when them have this alana. So them and them a chop land same time and I got you. All this never have not, you know, let me tell you this again, you know. This are only like anybody else and they get to youth, you know. Him and him wife are do too much, you know, people. They must not allow with these things and not him alone. Again type, they have thrown him to one of them rich. A good thing we have international people when me talk to or watch me and I take note. Cause me, remember, you know, remember me not do tabloid, I mean I want to put them on there, you know. So let me tell me just keep me last start. But watch, you just watch this, man. Yes, just watch this. Them not easy, man. Continue.
System, legal fees, and other costs to apply to the Supreme Court to modify restrictive covenants. $2 million was an advance from the developer to the owner to be refunded upon transfer to the owner. The next segment is entitled Investment in Bond. The evidence from NCB Capital Markets indicates that Mr. Holness acquired a bond on September 2, 2019 at a cost of $94,000 US. Mr.
September 19, the man have US spent to, you know. The man have money was bigger than the mole pay for the year, you know. I pay and half for spending a cash, you know. and put it, hey, that's what, a beer, hey.
The Holness was asked to indicate to the Commission the source of funding for the placement of the bond, and this was the explanation provided, or a part of it. Mr. Holness said during 2019 he encashed a total balance that had accrued in his US dollar repo account that had been generated from interest payments from bonds. That account was at Stocks and Securities Limited. He said, along with drawing down on his bank balances in US dollars and Jamaican dollars, that was to make an investment of US $94,000 in corporate bonds through NCB Capital Markets. He said his source of cash and income were detailed in attachments to his 2019 report. He includes an excerpt that says at year-end 2019 bank balances declined by 50% or 10.4 million Jamaican dollars. Substantial cash.
So people, what only to do when Jim open the thing then, you see him balance him have in a film thing that name there. So remember film holding frame when they move the money, and then you see him have less money declining. And but you look over here, so you see the money over here, so and then him have put the money all over the place, can't not spend. He not spend. So put it in a thing, them in business there, so them have, and then we move it from him. So when he put him, when I do over the time, if they never look on this, they won't say nothing to him. So in that quote the game, but a good thing them catch up on it, because if they just move it, if you look on certain things, can we have this, you know? It show you say, you know, I'm going like him have 10 million. Which over here says him have 100 million when thing them value. Nearly 200 million, 200 million, but you have to know you're going to like 10 or 14 or 10 million. So him move the money out and I put it over there. I move the cash. Like him smart. Yesterday, he won everything, you know. He won it. See? So I do it like the company, I operate like it's an individual. So you have got period of, if you are so like, I would tell you if you are so like the company. I have anything I deal with the company like a person I deal with, you know, through him. So I move everything. So I play my brain for people, you know. I'm not good. I'm not good.
Outlay was used to liquidate the outstanding balance on construction liabilities of $18 million, and the
So you shouldn't hear a prime minister when you about putting things in a blind trust. I thought about them have construction and them do this and them do all kind of things. This is foolishness. These are different charges in a people. If you have blind trust, see things then. After you know, start paying nepotism and cronism and kickback and all kind of things that go on. Simple. Continue.
purchase corporate bonds for 94,000 US dollars. The director said he then examined the relevant bank statements. He said when asked about the source of funding for the bond, the officer at NCB Capital Markets indicated that it was, quote, undetermined, currently being investigated. The evidence from NCB Capital Markets indicates that on September 4 and 5, 2019, a total of over 204,000 US dollars was received by Capital Markets to establish an NFE 11% 2036 bond with 94,000 units and NFE 8.25% 2034 bond with 110,000 units. The details can be seen on the
So you give him 200,000 US. I be a money the man around, you know, all over the place, you know. And them can't tell me where none of them money are come from. And them question them
table that you're now seeing on your screen.
Yeah.
The evidence shows that the NFE 11% 2036 bond was established in Mr. Holness's name, and the NFE 8.25% 2034 bond in the name Positive Jamaica Foundation, and was subsequently established by another investment house. The direct
Positive Jamaica Foundation I feel too. And then the other one in the name. So I'm just NFE and the other one in the name same way. NFE this and what have you. Yes, what am I do? Code up the thing and put all kind of things I think. Fair up the thing then.
Director highlights that the evidence from the company's office indicates that Mr. Holness was a director of Positive Jamaica Foundation, a charitable entity up to December 1, 2021. The director also highlights that the scope of the investigation did not include the accounts or any assets held by Positive Jamaica Foundation.
So it never include nothing with it. I talk about review, about court review. And then Big Mama come say, hey, when you don't put up no Big Mama spread them piece of shit. Or breaking news. That can't break any news. That can't break news for water boy or yard boy. It cannot. Boy, you're gonna in there gonna go plant people tree in a water tree. Eh? With people taxpayers money gone halfway around the world. Eh? Go do foolishness. Continue.
The director notes that Mr. Holness's account with the largest balance during 2019 maintained that balance until December 27, 2019, when a transfer of 18 million.
Awesome. How much time? Stop. When we do them thing, man, just stop. Don't ask. Listen. Just check up on your thing, man, and look what the headquarters. Just follow what me and say, man. And everybody here, you put sometime, man, say, man. Come on, man. You do your one check. Mr. The headquarters at Duke Street, man. What kind of petition going to do and move what? I don't get them there. You know. Don't you think, let me tell you again. We know we don't do tabloid. Me that check it in here, me I live panic and everybody here you talk something, you just run with it. Do no own check. That's how much of edify myself. Stop saying in there when me I tell you wait there. Me I tell you me know who depend the board there. Let me tell you again. Listen, master, let me tell you one more time. Because some people don't know. Me check it already. Enough people don't know. The electoral officer down at Oak Street. When no matter what about it, they stand it down at Oak Street. With the whole office and everything down there. Down there, it there. And like somebody tell me now what's a paper, me listen, check the thing, man. It's not far from the KCC. That they run to the party, they're down at Oak Street. The other day, when they recount, where you see them going to the Prime Minister office, when they want take away the thing from up in where Juliet there, you know, see them go for the helicopter, where them carry it go. Where everybody don't, you know, see she go down there and you have to run out of the office. Everything our husband office, then she let them run out of it. You have to look sometime, man. Don't stop. Listen, don't confuse yourself, man. If I want to say, please and thanks. Say, please and thanks. It's a big office down there where the box, them enough things are there, you know, it can't go into the office. It cannot. Because the whole of them electoral thing with them do and with them, it all have office, it have branches everywhere. So it have electoral office down in the same time. It have office all over the place. But the main office down at Oak Street. See? Then I tell them just look and just stop. When we do them thing, I don't just stop. Right? Please and thanks, man. Make we edify ourselves now. I want thing when me run your son up, myself, and I see what's not. Me not do tabloid. I will not do no tabloid. You know, you have some people just get up and just chat because they want chat or they want views. That's why I say like and share and subscribe. Come like come put out some 10, 20 feet. You know so much artists from interview from way back. They're not even there right now. Right now, them use my footage them for come talk to me. It's there. But me, you know, you save it for future generations. So we do some great things, you know. So me no want be the one where they have do some little garbage and then people are looking at say boom boom and confuse people. I do not do that. I don't have no time for that. Remember my grandfather and just carry a young boy body and fit and nice and yes. I mean I wagga and favor garbage heap and them thing, you know, so me look. Remember my granddad, my super granddad, you know. Me have no time for the foolishness. You know, me have super grand. You know, it come like, you know, you see me like me having a, you know, so me look. My super granddad, man, me not look like them. When me see some young boy or them still, me not die. You know, so me look, man. Yeah? How you see me look them and you see them now like 250 pounds and be a most and thing. You say, oh, a big man that, yeah, man. That's why me not make, you know, too fun of people and them thing. Them just keep them away. You understand? Yes. And we don't do tabloid. We don't do tabloid. See? Yeah, man. You have to know these things. So them keep them, that's why when it comes, remember them have to have the thing, them print out and thing. Listen to me. On the commission itself, them have 2 PMP and 2 GLP. So Dr. Dayton can be depend it too. The one named Franklin him depend it and Darpa father-in-law depend it. Dayton Campbell, and I can show you who else depend it. Just look for the commission and you see it. You ever see Dayton Campbell go up in the Prime Minister office? Him go down there and depend it. He's done it. When you done, me show you. So them have to have them pan it because you know them have to they like two, but them have party people go check too. That something not go wrong and them do it. You have to know all these things. We know. Okay? Alright. So me not do tabloid. And me not follow what people say me and what tell you. I know what something print, but me like double check the thing, yeah? Alright. Me continue, yeah? Enough respect. Cool.
$1 million was made to ARC Manufacturing in an attachment to Mr. Holness's 2019 statutory declaration submitted to the Integrity Commission on March.
Master, Mr. Yes, Mr. Yeah, Mr. Yeah. Yeah. No, man, you know, I said, go, man. I remember say, well, people never talk to Master a little bit. I said, go now with our family. But, you know, you know, you have some people in the colony and waka waka and nasty and then thing for man and thing and, you know, but got and, no, my fellows have them little dainty body, you know, for a man where, you know, them say, yeah, renegade. But remember, me a super granddad. I'm not playing me a super granddad. When I'm some boy thing on it, man. Some big man thing on it, you know. Yes, me a bigger man for Andrew himself and his wife. So later some big man Andrew just took also. No. Cool, no, man. Tell me I tell you something, man. Bill, man. We nice, yeah? Continue.
31, 2020, he explained that payment was made to clear outstanding amounts for construction material in relation to the Shenstone property. The evidence further indicates that the proceeds of the bond in question plus interest was repaid and transferred to Imperium's account on December 29, 2020 and invested as a repo. That's a financial instrument. Now, following that, the director said he deemed it necessary to examine the 2019 statutory declaration submitted by Mr. Holness, which reflects an investment of $94,000 with NCB Capital Markets. He gave the source of funds for this investment as accumulated bank balances and withdrawals from investments held with SSL in the name ADMAT Incorporated.
In a SSL, the same SSL we say when upon down. So I know, and this young Indian can take an interest why do the guy, hey, the woman forget let go. This is story or Andrew evening and just sit down there. I collect money but we not see my put in nothing. Nothing. 1,000 the US. Him not put in nothing. We not see it. We not see no deposit. It's like all them go about the deposit. All them never about the deposit, and it not lead them. Them on go see that come from SSL, but to not see when it go in there. Him take NHT and thing and put it in a SSL and money from over there. J did for all kind of things. Couple of the government agency and like me no know. Andrew, me ask you, when the government agency run there and them spend the money, when you make the profit, who get it? Because we don't know. You just lock it up. You don't talk to the people them like a few. NHT money and a taxpayer, but a taxpayer, and I like the government put something in it. That's a money where you put a contribution, the man not supposed to even touch it and put it there. So, remember when post going to make a one-time payment or two-time payment out of it, him right now take payment and make a bag of payment out of it. Billions of $100 billion, you know, and take it and put it in a SSL. Then you lock up the woman and we see I get money from SSL same way. Nothing can go so. This sinful. Oh, you lock up the woman, hey, and then have the whole back a book, and then you have big nasty mama, hey. Me then for them use them for pay fee money. All him forgot a photograph stuff the big mama. Yeah? And Charles Davis, because I'm there going with them things, you know. Charles Davis. Him start out like big mama now, dead image. Dead speech. Same way him do him thing and I stop. You know, like come and play him yesterday and talk for. Him stop. Same thing. I go like big mama. On go different tone. Na voice. Yeah? That's a barely. Yes. But them coming like them use the tone together. The same tone. Them are blend out them tone together. Like the two of them are use them tone together. Yes. So stay with my like Big Mama now. Josh Davis. Yeah. Yes. Josh Davis. Yeah, man. It's yeah, man, Chris. It's yeah, man. You know, it sounds like him and Big Mama. Them are just listen to them sound. Like the two of them are lick tone together. Them are sound like the same tone. Them are knock up. Like two tone in a one and knock. You hear them talk? Eh? You hear them talk, people, the two of them, like, eh? Them sound like some Jamaican agent 002, no? Yes. Them sound like agent. Continue.
Directors in possession of evidence from SSL showing that a check withdrawal was made on September 2, 2019 of just over $30,000 from a cash account held with SSL in the name AdMat Incorporated. The transaction information didn't show who the check was being paid to.
Hold on, just a cash account. I'm going to go back this. Hold on,
made on September 2, 2019.
Hold on.
$1,000 with NCB Capital Markets. He gave the source of funds for this investment as accumulated bank balances and withdrawals from investments held with SSL in the name AdMat Incorporated.
But him say AdMat, them say they never have no bank account. So if you have a bank account with SSL, lesson with name AdMat, but him say they have no bank account. I don't understand this. All right, continue.
The directors in possession of evidence from SSL showing that a check withdrawal was made on September 2, 2019 of just over $30,000 from a cash account held with SSL in the name AdMat Incorporated.
But him say him don't have account. In a cash account with okay. That have SSL account, not a bank account. But no, but SSL have account, but they must go to a bank. Right? Cash account, okay. Cash account. So SSL have the money. But we don't see AdMat, nobody put no money in that. Someone get other money too, you know. All right.
The transaction information didn't show who the check was being paid to. The director further examined bank statements received from BNS. It was observed that a wire transfer was made from Mr. Holness's US dollar account on September 4, 2019 to Capital Markets of over $31,000. The director also observed a transaction classified as Forex debit from another of Mr. Holness's BNS accounts of $1.1 million on September 4, 2019. He says it's noteworthy that no other transfers to NCB Capital Markets were observed from Mr. Holness's BNS accounts between the end of August and September 4, 2019, around the time the $94,000 bond was purchased. He says based on all of that, he is only able to attribute just over $30,000 and $31,000 to the source of funds identified by Mr. Holness in his explanations in relation to the $94,000. The director says the over $204,000 received by Capital Markets between the 4th and 5th of September 2019
over 200,000 US. When it's that money that's flying all over the place with them. Yo, he's not a man this can't be no about no prime minister. The man, yo, the members have be a contract and you and I think this have kickback, it have all kind of implicate. Yo, I'll be a money laundering and basis. Them can't tell me nothing, you know. Edify yourself about money laundering, edify yourself about all of these things. This bad. Yeah, man, then up. Yeah, man, there, man. Bad.
Would have sufficiently covered the bond placed by Mr. Holness, but the source of funding identified by the bank did not totally support Mr. Holness's explanation that he previously provided.
All right. So it's not totally supporting it. That means him tell them lie. And lie is supposed to get charged. A man can't go on and do this and get one. And then I come out about, oh, you know, judicial review. Judge, I have to sing with that. That don't make no sense. So who sit down with him and say, buy time with it, can't buy no time. The fit for look through him thing and then for grab him. Then for grab him. And by the way, when you do investigation, let me tell you this. This coming like the White House or anyway. When you do investigation, the investigation, the Fed cannot talk to or brief the finance minister. That's be can take an interest. They have to do them job and deal with it. You can't deal with them. So whether you deal with them and they have one, them have the power for do one, then they going up, yes, that them have to do. But a matter of fact, he have to recuse himself. He have to excuse out of the way. You don't have to ask. So that coming like Biden and his son, them have to deal with his son and a girl and that when put on. He can't go him do. Leave him alone. Girl and something I look like conflict of interest and get a special prosecutor. Law to take it course. Yeah? Continue.
This raised questions, says the report, as to whether his personal funds were commingled with the funds of the charity Positive Jamaica Foundation. Mr. Holness was therefore asked to provide more information as to how he funded the purchase of that bond. So this was Mr. Holness's explanation. He said the $94,000 bond purchase price was incorrectly assigned to Andrew Holness by NCB Capital Markets. The correct allocation to him, he said, is over $61,000. He said the correction has been addressed by NCB Capital Markets. He said the specific source of funds for the over $61,000 is as followed. Over $31,000 from a BNS Jamaican dollar savings account converted to US dollars, and then from a BNS US dollar savings account. He said another over $30,000 came from an SSL account in the name of ADMAT Incorporated. So in this segment, Mr. Holness is saying the bond was put entirely in his name. He is saying that was an error and that in fact just over $61,000 should have been in his name only. The director says he made further inquiries of NCB Capital Market and he got a further statement. This says as follows. Subsequent to their submission to the Integrity Commission, several telephone conversations with the client have revealed that the allocations for the purchase of the bonds in 2019 were not as desired by the client and should have been apportioned as follows. And then the table that you're seeing on the screen is showing what Capital Markets is now saying the allocation should have been for the bond, with some going towards Andrew Holness and the rest going towards Positive Jamaica Foundation. So
Positive Jamaica Foundation is the same way. So when them just talking about some going towards him and then go to Positive Jamaica a foolishness. And then they can use the Positive Jamaica Foundation at the charity this and some forgot back to it. That's a joke. Him shouldn't take it out none at all and mix it with him. Continue.
Capital Markets now says that the total amount of over $61,000 was to be used to settle the NFE 11% 2036 bond purchase in the name of Andrew Holness and over $142,000 for the NFE 8.25% 2034 bond purchase, Positive Jamaica Limited. They say it should not have been $94,000 in the name of Andrew Holness and $110,000 for Positive Jamaica Foundation. They say as such, over $32,000 of the initial deposit should have been allocated to Positive Jamaica Foundation. They said instructions regarding this allocation of funds were apparently received verbally by Capital Markets officers who are no longer with the company. As such, the amounts indicated on the bond purchase agreements dated September 2, 2019, previously submitted to the Integrity Commission in the name of Mr. Andrew Holness and in the name of Positive Jamaica Foundation were used to settle the bonds. They said all investments on account 750768 in the name of Andrew Holness were then transferred to an account in the name of Imperium Investment Holdings. And that was in the amount of over $108,000. NCB Capital Markets said they have since, with the assistance of the client, taken action on the account in the name of Imperium Investments to allocate the funds to the accounts for which the client requested. And they said they were in the process of calculating additional coupon payments attributable to Positive Jamaica Foundation. The director said, having got that statement and noticed what appeared to be inconsistencies with further statements, the director summoned and examined under oath 4 officers from NCB Capital Markets, and 3 of those officers gave written statements after being heard. During the course of the hearing, the director said what he was trying to find out was the policies and procedures around the purchase of bonds, the manner in which client instructions are given and received by NCB Capital Markets, as well as whether there was an error on the part of NCB Capital Markets as indicated by Mr. Holness in his July 16, 2024 response to the director. In a statement dated August 22, 2024, one of the officers said the following. He said, as the account manager of the Imperium account, he reached out to the client via their usual communication method, WhatsApp, to verify the source of funds for the purchase of 94,000 units of the bond that was purchased in September 2019 in the name of Mr. Holness. Following instructions from a person whose name has been redacted here, who was trying to locate the source of funds, he said he reached out to Mr. Holness via WhatsApp call and messages in 2024 to assist with providing the source of funds for the bond purchase. On May 9 and May 17, initial contact attempts were made to Mr. Holness to request source of funds, but he was unable to produce a source of funds. June 7, email.
Oh, you're a prime minister, I do too much money and the man able for the sort of fun. And when him can't do it, him just deny it. I'm not argue. That make no sense.
Reminder sent to Mr. Holness. He said Mr. Holness has WhatsApp feature disappearing messages activated for 7 days. So his messages would have disappeared and can't be produced for evidence. But he says he has attached a screenshot of his message folder showing that disappearing messages are turned on, and consequently that doesn't actually show the messages between them. On June 8 and June 9, Mr. Holness contacted him via WhatsApp call indicating that he was trying to locate the source of funds. June 11, a telephone meeting with Mr. Holness, the person giving the statement, and his manager. During that meeting, Mr. Holness clarified the connection between the Andrew Holness account, now Imperium, and the Positive Jamaica Foundation, along with the bond purchases from both accounts. Now, he said then that the payments of $31,000 and $30,000, totaling over $61,000, were intended for the bond purchase in his personal account, while over $142,000 was for Positive Jamaica Limited. However, the bond settlement values as per the bond purchase agreement were recorded as $94,000 for Andrew Holness and $110,000 for Positive Jamaica Foundation. June 13, a following email sent. The following documents were provided to the client: bond purchase agreement, transactional statements, dividend mandate, copy of the checks, the source of funds for the bond purchases of the NFE bonds. Then the statement went on to say both Andrew Holness and Positive Jamaica Foundation interest payments were made to Mr. Holness's accounts initially, which totaled over $20,000 from October 9, 2019 to September 22, 2020. The bond was called, and on September 22, 2020, The principal payments plus interest was credited to Mr. Holness's account. Following email correspondence on October 21, 2020, adjustments were made to the account. Positive Jamaica Foundation account was credited over $121,000. On June 28, 2024, the current NFE bond was sold and an amount of $39,000 was transferred to Positive Jamaica Foundation, and an additional over $4,000 he said is now to be transferred to Positive Jamaica Foundation pending approval from his manager and from Mr. Holness. He said the bond was purchased in accordance with instructions provided by the client as set out in the bond purchase agreement. He said NCB Capital Markets acted based on the written instructions provided by Mr. Holness. Mr. Holness only indicated in their June 2024 communication that the allocation of funds between his personal account and Positive Jamaica Foundation did not align with his original intentions. Mr. Holness indicated that the persons who were handling the bond were X and Y on June 8 and 9 via WhatsApp calls. He did not indicate that any of the parties took verbal instructions from the bond. He said it is not standard practice for NCB Capital Markets to take verbal instructions, and they have a client account opening agreement and operations manual that speak to that. The director says the explanation from Mr. Holness is not in line with the evidence from NCB Capital Markets. He says Mr. Holness declared the $94,000 bond in his 2019 and September 2020 statutory declaration. Mr. Holness also provided the Commission with an explanation as to the source of funding in respect of the $94,000 bond. The director further highlights the following. The bond purchase agreement duly signed by Mr. Holness clearly states the value of the instrument to be $94,000. B. NCB Capital Markets has indicated it only takes written instructions from clients in respect of bond instruments. C. Mr. Holness is presented with statements of account on a regular basis which clearly show the value of the instrument, that is $94,000 in addition to interest. Mr. Holness had not before June 2024 indicated that his intentions were not as documented in the bond purchase agreement. D. NCB Capital Markets has indicated that the bond was called early and the proceeds and principal transferred to Mr. Holness's holding company Imperium.
So him knows the investigation him called the bond early. And the man is getting statement and everything. Only stuff take a back line. Dangerous.
On September 22, 2020. No corrections can now therefore be made to the bond instrument as it was originally crafted. It no longer exists. The actions taken by NCB Capital Markets on behalf of Mr. Holness on June 24, 2024 were therefore based on fresh instructions from him and not a correction as he stated in his July 16, 2024 response. The evidence indicates that on August 21, 2020, adjustments were made to Mr. Holness's account on the basis that funds belonging to Positive Jamaica Foundation were erroneously deposited in said account. This transaction was reversed on October 26, 2020. There was no indication at this or any other stage that the $94,000 bond was incorrect prior to the director's inquiries in June 2024. F. The full proceeds of the $94,000 bond, including the about $32,000, which is now being said to belong to Positive Jamaica Foundation, were transferred to Imperium and reinvested by that entity. In other words, the portion belonging to Positive Jamaica Foundation formed part of Imperium's assets for over 3 years and was
I'll be a criminality this, you know. Him come out of this. Yeah, we know PMP just walk out of Parliament. Yes. Yeah. Them shouldn't even go there, but you know, too much them don't go to go here with the foolishness. So, you know, them just go there. Right? You shouldn't go there and sit with criminals. None at all. None. whatever.
Appropriated by that entity as it deemed appropriated. The funds were only remitted to Positive Jamaica Foundation after inquiries were made by the Director of Investigation. And he ends the segment by saying, having regard to the discrepancies identified in Mr. Holness's July 16, 2024 response, the evidence of the officers at
This is the dirty plan of Holness to right now. The opposition are going to talk about Holness and the money. So what them do now, I try most of what go on in index. So I go to the attack and the criminal one, I'm going to talk to one of them have some uti at them, you know. Because we need back the land them from St. Thomas. So one of them in there, I'll play this and make it here because Chris, let me talk to Chris because right now I call him. What on there? I go call him. Because I remember we have eyes everywhere, you know. Yo, where it happen? Where it take place? What take place?
No, me I say, you know, so Mark Golding, I put a motion just a while ago, brethren. And the motion that Mark Golding I bring, it's like, hold on, right? Give me 1 second. Yeah, Mark Golding I bring a motion just a while ago, but the man raised to his feet, brethren, and start to read. The boy from Eternal Charles' son get up and start talk about, say, yo, you can't talk about this and else because I adjudicate this is in front of the court and all them things. And if that you go bring, you can't have it and we're not going to have it. And then the next boy, or the speaker of the house, Eli Clark, and so his name.
Yeah.
You know, boy, I'm going to stand down and read something and talk about Ray, and I shut down Mark Golding and the opposition. You know what happened? The man them start writing them a reason again. And by the time Mark Golding starts to talk again, the man them shut down Mark Golding and Mark Golding, them just get up and walk over the parking store. So right now, them just did it by themselves. So the labor, them did it by themselves right now, talk shit. But you know where plan go? When the motion will bring, and Mark Golding time to talk, Juliet Holness get up and say, members, exclude the place and walk out of the parliament. Eli Clark walk on the fucking box, brother. And sit down up there. And you see, that time now when Mark Golding put in motion, that's when they start with the Alabaloo. You see, by the time that done and Mark Golding said, "Woman, I go walk out," Juliet Holness I come in back in the parliament, come sit down and go on like, you know, say, not national, no, not that. Oh, I was just, when I see the opposition walking out, but it's a planting, you me just see it right just in front of me 2 years, a planting.
So this is a plan because he might attack and see the excuse and him come say. Remember, Anna, you know, I'm not supposed to say nothing. And then she.
Her husband, motion come against her husband, so she comes and say because of planting. So she should excuse herself and might she go through right to the podium.
So what them do now, and I want to do all the permanent charge and all of them, because all of them are dirty thinking criminal for money. So what them do now is, I said, oh, well, a jurisdiction thing, so you must talk about Andrew Holness. That's the matter about right now, I do not mean that for sure. That's a waste of time. So they want to stay now and they say, yes, we can protect you till election. No, but if we do that, no. Well, I'm not so we are burning till election. Can't stay now. But me, like when them did it, because we can't finish open the whole of the Pandora box. So the whole of them are just trying to this, you know. So we have to the whole of them were criminal. Now we expose them. I'm at a fact, I've tried the interview everywhere. Eh?
Even if you bring back Andrew Holness interview, go back from 2007 all the way.
The whole of everything by Andrew Holness drafting out. When I leave her every day, Andrew Holness straight right now. And then, him father and the land too, and I had to go some more things. I remember St. Thomas of the way. So him not supposed to even win back no seat. Because it was warm at the land too. So we are launch, but me just tell him, so we are launch a nuclear park him and him father up there. Because I had to go everything with them and him father in St. Thomas. Yes. Yes. The whole of the land from up in St. Thomas. Everything with them. A matter of fact, now I tell him wife about the house where I build now. Yeah, with him clean now, man. So we're going to fling out everything now, yes. So what we're going to do is fling out everything from Colonel Charles June and everything. Because we have it, you know, we have it fold up and elastic up. So him now attack too much now. So we're going to beat it till I'm a bed for him to call him wife, you know, say man nasty this, you know. And let me give anything up there, you know. Yes. You can clean and then you run up and down and do foolishness. So here it is now. And the whole Charles them, we're going to learn something from them to same way. Go beat it till them a bit. Them two stink now, man. Yes.
What going to you what them boy I say? What going to you what them boy I say? Stay tuned.
All right, stay tuned. All right, sir.
Little more.
Eagle. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You have to launch from them, you know. When them too much, you just launch from them, you know. Them too much now. So when them do, them come up and I talk about this because when you're talking with the opposition, oh, we can't talk about it because it's different court. No, different court. Did I read Sri Lanka and read what I hear about the next 7? So there is no way when them do this, them for just without down to nothing. Nothing. A country can't run, so people can't line them pocket for taxpayers' money. And you don't talk about it. Remember them have the things them already, you know, you need to get them back, you know. Can't nothing with them kind of people, you know. Yes, man, them no good. Them people no good none at all. So you know it already. Yeah, man. So right now, boy give wife the whole remedy for him, man. Yeah, man. See? The whole remedy boy give him, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yes, so right now we're figuring out what I think. I'm about clean a lady there, you know, we're clean from it to two, you know. Where you see my bill place and I'm like, yo, enough place them take up the you know. And everything with them do, we're rapping it out. The one of them, boy, ask them, man, the whole chance, man, we're figuring out everything a road, man. Everything. Well, I don't have pole and figure it out a road. Him too enough now, him for go on. You understand? And this Jamaica forget about them things. You can't have some people that tell them our government just still the one of them rich. Front of one them rich. Not say, oh, them listen. Just go take them pay and ask, oh, them get the money. Keep back contract and all kind of thing. They never have the money before. Before them in a government. So all them never make the money out of the government when them didn't, but them come out and broke like that. 2015 and them. All Andrew did broke. Andrew might get the land and couldn't build it. Couldn't build it. Him wife get a piece of land and couldn't build it. You know, still one of them did broke. What am I doing? Come tell the foolishness. You know, the Danwin pastor, she never this and that, she get quick bench. I get money, I get, you know, so them say, the whole of them on the rich. All them rich. Who have gas station, them have this, them have that, them have this, them have super building, them have all kind of things. Where them get these money from? Eh? And them make the place station, so much money them can't get accounted for. And then you should have put the thing in a trust fund. Before them going to them and a business people, you know, and them come out a big business people now. It's bad. So we're going to learn from them, we're going to have some things from them and move from them. We don't know chatting with them, you know. Yeah. Them are going to make matters worse. Because every day now, we're going to lynch. Listen, man, I worries. Wait till the title on Thursday. I worries. Saying, I'm Mark Golden, let me tell you, the opposition, not sit down back with none of them. Yeah, boy, make them go and talk. When boy, and in the Senate, too, no boy cut it. When the cat down, boy cut it, man, make them come talk. No, in the outside of the Senate, make them not come talk and make a blaze them. So the House and the Senate, yes. So when them go tomorrow and the next year, none of them know it. Start it. Nobody. No Senate, no House. The opposition will leave it alone. And next week, if they can't come to something on the talk, nobody now in there. Make them not come chat, make we get from last time. Because we have to fling them out, you know. What you talk about, man? Them just start a new club. War them start. A beat it till the man. You understand? What you say, man? Them no good. So you run go talk about court. Because you don't want nobody, well, yes, still have the whole thing. Them don't want nobody talk about you and you own this thing. And money, this in a people. If never have it in pay, can't give it. If not have no workforce, neither in a people. Eh? If not have no workforce, but they move hundreds of million, the man drive move 120 million one time. 150 million people in the bank are moving for him, the country too corrupted. I mash up 80. We never get serious. Listen, you can't have people who have full of pension, I want a granny pension, I want a mother pension and father pension. I want to laugh with them, I want to pan down and talk about vote. And then them can't phone pick the criminal and come make police come shoot them and them thing. They can't work. Stop on the foolishness. Stop the foolishness now. Run on the front with some nastiness. I still like want to do thumper jacket. Yes. Thumper Dranko, thumper jacket. That a Dranko jacket yesterday. And the same thing. Hey, that's not invited, you know. And by the way, gas stand on what you do with Dranko jacket and a smile and a laugh. Can we see you know, we have a picture with you, you know. I bring your teeth in a grandma man touch them, you know. You have to be careful too, you know. Because we know you're not good for money. Don't you know, right? Yeah, man. But for what him to man? See? Let me tell you something. Opposition for the rest of the week and next week or the other week, 3, 4 weeks. Listen, not go in there. Keep on the parliament pan line. Keep on the parliament pan line because them can't do that, you know. Oh no, the opposition, listen, lower upper house. Go for the opposition and keep on the parliament pan line. Everything we want to keep that pan line. Yes. People are more take into that and tune in. Every day when you keep parliament, so you go and go keep your parliament pan line. You know you're not chatting with them, cut off our communication. Hey, that's why Mr. Makuni in politics. Can we cut them off long time, you know? Yes. You have forced them out of that. Go call election and do something. And make sure when you know to me come in, me, remember when I don't know elephant memory, remember everything. Forensic audit, every single one of them. Only get this or anything you can't prove this or who go to prison, go to prison. Take back the people them things and give back to the people them. The land and the money with them chop and everything with them have got them super rich. Don't joke with them. Too much politics around now, man. Too much. Yeah, man. Them corrupted, man. It's a corrupted party, man. I'm not wrong with the JP, you know. And with the current crap, all the barbers within the JLP, something wrong with. Cannot no wrong with the party itself. And the crap. And the PR with them do. See? So right now, a full blown all out thing by all out pound. Remember me telling you that. Don't chat, you know. Get some food until later, you know. So when you know it already, big time. Yeah? Renegade me out. Later again in our worries. All right, me there. I'm out.
We in lump sum, we a beat it till the hammer burn. We now make them get in a them and again. None of them boy, we none of them. We alone some rise up the bomber day.
Original quote, they said no, we not take rough up the crop. From the other day, them face them a puff up like they 3 little pig and the old fire off up. If them flip like a fool and leave them get crushed up. Meta, shut your beat, no speak, you meta hush up. Street furniture, everything's a get dust up. Limbs and shove, everything's a get brush up. When you see original Eastman, you must know fuck away. Lyrically inclined, be a metaphor, so no listen to